Well, Rich, recapping on FA Cup at the weekend, fantastic win. What's your thoughts on reflection?
Yeah, I think it was a comprehensive victory, which hopefully you'd expect with the difference between the two sides. But yeah, particularly within cup competitions, that's not how it goes. And some of the other results within the competition have shown exactly that. So yeah, pleased that we were comprehensive in our victory. There was never really any doubt. I think having looked back at the footage, we were unlucky to not score more, but fair play to Oxford City, who sort of made it their task really to make it as difficult as possible and crowd all of their players in and around in a low block. And so yeah, some good lessons and learning from us from the game, but yeah, very professional from the girls.
We've had the draw now in the third round of the Adobe Women's FA Cup. Before I go on to that, fantastic news. Annie Colston named Player of the Round after her hat-trick as well. That's a fantastic accolade.
Yeah, I think it's always nice for the players to get reward or recognition in this case. And yeah, it's a national competition, and so for everybody that be looking and seeing that and recognising the quality of Annie's performance. For me, particularly pleasing was that the FA had their cameras there taking footage, and they got an absolutely great shot of Annie's third goal, which is absolute quality, real quality, technical quality, and a fabulous finish. And for everybody to see how good a player she is from those shots, I think is great as well. Just that gives her recognition as well as the award. So really pleased for her, much deserved, and a player in fine form.
Well, you're into the third round of the Adobe Women's FA Cup now. WSL, 2 teams come into this draw, but you learned your opponents on Monday in Leafield Athletic. So what are your thoughts on that draw?
I think it's a difficult draw because Leafield are a good side at the same level as us. I think they're second in their league, so we know they'll be confident. And I know Tash a little bit, and her team play for her, and typical Midland team as well. They'll be very physical and they'll battle. And so, yeah, pleased that it's a game that you would look at and on paper and say, it's a winnable game. Whereas if you pick up some of the Championship sides, you're going to be very much up against it. So it's a game that we can go into, cautiously but optimistically, to hopefully get us through to the fourth round, which would be incredible.
Well, that's Adobe Women's FA Cup, and that's for in a couple of weeks' time. You've got a hell of a game on Sunday to look forward to, a top-of-the-table clash against Moneyfields. Going to be a difficult game. Yeah,
tough game. We expect it. These are the big games. These are the games that you want to turn up for and you want to be excited for. And I know the players will be. We've put an awful lot of work in this season, as I'm sure they have, for a game like this. And yeah, just pleased it's at the county ground. We're at home, and be nice to host them.
Well, looking at Moneyfields, you had fantastic games with them last year, so I guess this isn't a game that you need to get your players motivated for.
No, they know what it means. I don't think the league's not going to be won or lost on Sunday, but certainly we can score some points and put ourselves in a really good position if we were to win that game. We're fortunate in as much as we've got a game in hand and they've dropped a couple of points, so even if it wasn't to go our way, it's still well within our hands. So I think that's a good advantage for us, that we can go into it confidently, whereas for them, if we were to win the game, it puts them in a more difficult situation. Again, probably still within just about within their grasp, but it's going to be a long, tough season, but big game and one that everybody will be looking forward to.
Well, before we talk about the Niger Leedy County Ground where you'll play on Sunday, just looking at your side, how's your side looking ahead of the game on Sunday?
Yeah, I think ultimately we're on a run of 19 wins, so the team are confident. They're together and they're motivated, and I think it's really hard to explain. I've not been on a run like this myself before, but you can just see that there's a collective pride in the run that they're on, and a desire to keep in that form, in that vein of form, because it's enjoyable. It makes football much more fun when you're winning.
Well, the Niger Leedy County Ground's become a bit of a fortress so far this season for Swindon. It'll be your last game of this calendar year here, so how important is this fan support going to be, but how incredible is it just to play here as well?
Yeah, I think support is everything, particularly in a tough game. You know, we know it's going to be difficult, a bit like the Cheltenham game. We knew it was going to be difficult, and so having that fan support here, cheering you on. In the Cheltenham game we went behind, but we weren't buckled by that, and that could very much be the case against Moneyfields. And so having good fan support here, cheering us on, encouraging the girls, making sure that we work from start of the game to the end of the game, because it will be it'll be a 90-minute fixture, be one that we'll have to be tenacious with. Whether we're ahead or not, they won't give up, and neither will we.